Hello, 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 and welcome replay viewers. Thank you for joining me, and stay tuned. We are going to find out, could inner peace enhance and increase your creativity? First of all, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Una Doyle. I'm a business strategist and mindset coach, and I specialize in helping creative business owners, particularly service providers, such as in design, animation, copywriting, to be able to confidently and profitably attract and convert their ideal dream soulmate clients at kind of 4 or 5 figures and beyond, without selling their soul or adding extra workload. And the reason why I do this is I'm on a mission to eradicate the epidemic of undercharging and over-delivering that exists in creative services. You know, give me a heck yeah below if you have ever seen this or experienced it yourself, right? I know that this is pretty common. I'm also the host of a Facebook group, Courageous Creatives Community. So pop community in the comments if you would like to join, and I will make sure that you get the link to do that. All right, so why am I talking about inner peace? Okay, you might be thinking, what has that got to do with having a successful business? And you might even be thinking, oh yeah, well when I've got loads of money, that's when I'm going to have inner peace. No, it doesn't quite work like that. In fact, it kind of works the other way around. So when I'm talking about peace, and by the way, if you're watching live, put in hashtag replay party below. And if you're watching on the replay, make sure you put in hashtag replay party as well, because otherwise I have no idea who is here. Okay, so something that's not talked about a lot in creative circles is creative burnout. Now, somebody can to all intents and purposes, look fine, think that they're fine, and but what's happening is that over time it's getting harder and harder for them to be able to produce work that they're really proud of. And look, you know what it's like. You can often get away with this, at least for a while, with clients. But you know on the inside how that feels. And I don't ever want you to be in that situation. A lot of people can get, quite down about it, in fact. And I don't want you to be in that. So the reason why I wanted to talk about this is to help you ensure that this doesn't happen. So yeah, absolutely. Okay, so now I want to share with you a little bit of my story. My mind used to look like a big ball of sticky wool. I had so much going on in there, and I don't necessarily mean in a good way, right? So, hey Steve, thanks for joining us. I was consumed by, well, what did other people think of me, trying to prove myself good enough. I just felt less than adequate. I certainly felt powerless. I didn't feel I was empowered to create the life that I wanted. And even though I took action, to kind of try and get what I wanted in life, it was hard work. It was draining, and it wasn't inspired, and I was just stressed up to the eyeballs. And you know what? I think until a certain point, I didn't even realize that I was. I just thought this is how life is. And it's interesting, actually, just today on LinkedIn, I've seen a post where somebody was talking about someone who'd served them in a shop, and they had a quick conversation. Unfortunately, they couldn't finish it because there was a massive queue behind them at this time of year. And this person was saying, oh yeah, well, I started trying to think about goals and how it could change my life and blah, blah, blah. But then I thought, I'm better off just, if I don't set any goals, then I don't get disappointed. And I was like that. I just was so stressed. So let me ask you a question. Do you think this was me at my most creative? Because at this point, I was working in a creative agency. So how creative do you think I was at that time? Let me know below. Like, if you have ever felt like that, how creative have you been? You see, the thing is that stress, it's like it strangles creativity. And that is what can lead to burnout. Now, my journey has got me to a place where my creativity is pretty much on tap. In fact, yesterday, oh my gosh, I was actually stunned yesterday when I got to the end of the day and looked at what I'd managed to achieve. It was on a whole other level. And, you know, this wasn't an overnight thing. But it actually is, it's something that I've been working on as I go along. And let me just explain to you as well, what do I mean by inner peace? So let's look at the word peace. What does it mean? It means an absence of conflict. It means freedom from disturbance. So that means you need to have that within you. And if you are having negative thoughts about yourself and about other people and about situations in life, then how can you be in harmony? You can't. In fact, that's interesting. I used the word harmony today. I pulled a wisdom card. Let me just read this for you. Harmony. You are the conductor in your life and your relationships are like your orchestra. If just one instrument is out of tune, everything becomes discordant. So check that you are in harmony with the people in your life and, most importantly, in tune with yourself. This is what I'm talking about. It takes practice for everyone to resonate together, but harmony in a group of people is immensely powerful. Choosing this card suggests it's your task to nurture it carefully and wisely, knowing that is the key to lasting success. Isn't that interesting that that's what has come up for today? But this is how in tune and in flow things kind of have been for me. So what I want to do, I'm going to share with you some quotes. And I'm going to unpick kind of my interpretation of these and give you some ideas as to what it is that you can be looking at in your life. Because here's the thing, I've been writing some copy today, and I talked about how kind of our saboteurs, you know, those voices that say all those things, it's like they cloud us, it's like they confuse us with fog so that we forget who we are. And you can't see what's really going on. Now, when you get specific, and I'm talking about super specific, then you actually can see what is going on. You can recognize the truth in a situation objectively, and you can actually do something about it, right? So here's the first quote. It's by Wayne Dyer. Peace is the result of retraining your mind to process life as it is, rather than as you think it should be. I remember, you just put up the same one. That's hilarious. Let me just get this up there. So Steve has just commented the same thing. Peace is the result of retraining your mind to process life. Isn't that funny? So, and this was not planted. Okay, talk about being in tune and being in harmony. That's so funny. Okay, you're putting up all my quotes, Steve. Stop. I want to do them in turn. So, this is really funny. That actually is the next one that I have. That's hilarious. So the thing is that what stops, what is it that causes us to go, well, life should be like this? Well, we can have a feeling that things should be fair. And you know what? Life isn't fair. We can blame people for how things are instead of taking responsibility to make them the way that we want to be. Fear can stop us because we're kind of worried about, well, what would other people think? Will I fail? Or maybe will I be successful? And that's just as scary. I know it was for me. The minute I got rid of fear of failure, boom, up popped fear of success. It was so interesting. Pressure, stress and worry are all created by the expectations that shoulds create. So where are you seeing this showing up in your life or in your business? Comment below. I'd love to know what this is bringing up for you. Okay, so the next quote. As I bring this up, seeing as Steve has handily typed it out for me. So you find peace not by rearranging the circumstances of your life, but by realizing who you are at the deepest level. And this is by Eckhart Tolle. He wrote The Power of Now, and he also wrote another book called A New Earth. Funny story. I was on my way back to Ireland to visit my parents. This has gone back a few years. They've both passed now, R.I.P. I bought this book in the airport and I started reading it, and it said, if you think you're enlightened, spend a week with your parents. I thought, I'm just on my way there now. It's quite funny. Okay, so realizing who we are, as I said, we forget who we truly are. We're like, you are immense. You are powerful. You're a visionary. You're a leader. And anything that stops you from being that is not of who you are. You weren't born thinking that you're not good enough, taking things personally, being insecure, caring what other people think. You weren't born like that. That was just crap that you acquired along the way. And the great thing is, with the right tool, you can get rid of that stuff so fantastically and so thoroughly. It is brilliant. So when you do that, that is what allows you to find peace, because you're remembering who you are. You're being that person. So love it. Okay, so my next quote is that peace is liberty in tranquility. And this is by Cicero. And for me, when I was thinking about this, what came to me is that this mesh of external stimulation, focus, and being in flow allows you to tap into that inspired source. Like, regardless of what you call it, you might call it the muse, you might call it universal energy, you might call it God, you might call it your creativity. I don't care what you call it, but we've all felt that. Every creative has felt it, where it is literally like you are downloading things. This was me yesterday. Like, I was so in flow in this. And it's interesting, like, I journaled and meditated before I started. I was totally clear and focused on what it was that I was looking to achieve. I thought it would take me until this lunchtime to do what I actually managed to finish in one day yesterday. And it was just amazing. And that totally sums it up. Peace is liberty in tranquility. Love it. So what stops that? It's things like not being able to say no, which means that you don't have healthy boundaries, looking to please others, feeling obligated to others, feeling like you actually don't deserve. Because sometimes I meet people and think, well, no, I know I'm talented. I know I'm good. In fact, it's really frustrating when I see other people doing better than me, and I know that I'm actually a better at this particular thing than they are. So, addiction and abuse, and not necessarily addiction to substances. We can be addicted to our thoughts and feeling like a victim, that feeling of powerlessness that I talked about in the beginning when I was talking about my story, and not being able to let go of the past, because, I don't think you can create. Of course, you have to look to the future in terms of your vision and what it is you're looking to create, but that's like, you're doing that from here. It's not like you're in the future worrying about it, or it's not like you're in the past with guilt and regrets and wanting things to be different. You're here, you've got to be totally present. And that's a big part of peace as well, isn't it? That you're able to be present. So I just want to finish with a quote from Elizabeth Gilbert. I really like her work. Her book, Big Magic, is fantastic. I would highly recommend it if you haven't read that already. And she says, we don't realise that somewhere within us all, there does exist a supreme self who is eternally at peace. So that bit, eternally at peace. When we remember who we really are, when we clear this crap out of the way, then we're able to do that. And the more we do it, we're able to do that for longer and longer periods. So we can really tap into not just us, but the connected us. So what do you think of this? Do you think this is a load of baloney? Do you think, wow, I've never thought of it like that, but actually there's some truth? Are you thinking, well, yeah, Una, that's bleeding obvious. I want to know. Let's get a conversation going. So I will be here same time next week. Just note that for Christmas week, I will not be doing a show because I will be spending time with my new husband and doing Christmassy things. So have a fantastic day and week, and I will see you same time next week. Bye.